Hello, everyone, welcome back to my channel. Imagine this. She's scrolling through her phone, laughing at a meme, and somehow, out of nowhere, your name pops into her mind. That spark, that sudden pull, isn't luck. It's a deep, primal reaction. One you can create if you understand the invisible levers that tug at a woman's heart. Right now, most men are chasing her attention in the wrong way. Text after text, compliment after compliment, hoping she'll finally notice. And yet, she drifts further away, not closer. Why? Because emotional attachment isn't earned with surface gestures. It's sculpted in the unseen moments, in the subtle architecture of feeling she doesn't even know she's hungry for. Think about the last time you felt an uncontrollable draw to someone. You didn't notice it at first. You ignored it. Maybe you even told yourself it was just attraction. But deep down, something had already hooked your mind and your heart. That invisible thread, that magnetic pull, is what women crave. And yet, they rarely find it. Most men misread signals, believe they need to be there constantly, and lose the spark entirely. Attachment doesn't grow from availability. It grows from challenge, mystery, and a sense that being with you is an experience, a story she can't live without. Now, this isn't manipulation in the cheap, cartoonish sense. This is understanding female psychology, learning what naturally triggers her emotional circuits. It's about making her feel alive, valued, and deeply understood, without exhausting yourself or bending into someone you're not. Every word, every look, every silence has the power to seed a deep emotional connection, but it has to be precise. Misstep, and she'll admire you, maybe even like you, but she won't be attached. Here's the unsettling truth most men refuse to see. Women don't fall in love with who you are. They fall in love with how you make them feel about themselves when they're with you. They chase emotions, not resumes, not accomplishments. You could be rich, funny, or strong, but if you fail to tap into her emotional wiring, she will drift, slowly, quietly, leaving you wondering what went wrong. And that's why most men stay stuck in the friend zone or fade into memory. So, let me ask you this. Are you ready to step beyond surface attraction? To create a pull so strong she can't resist thinking about you, dreaming about you, missing you, even when you're not there? Because understanding this hidden psychology is where the game changes, where you stop being just another guy and start being the one she can't forget. Every man thinks he knows what women want. Be kind, be confident, be funny. And yes, those help, but they are surface level. The real pull comes from something far more subtle, far more powerful. Emotional resonance. Women are wired to respond to men who trigger feelings they can't easily control, feelings that stir curiosity, excitement, and even a hint of longing. Think about it. Why do you remember certain women from your past, the ones who weren't necessarily the easiest to be around? Because they made you feel something you couldn't name, something that lingered long after they left. That same principle works in reverse. If you want her emotionally attached, you must become the architect of her feelings. It starts with understanding contrast. Women are drawn to intensity, not chaos, but contrasts in energy, attention, and emotion. Be warm, then pull away. Be present, then be a little mysterious. Send a message that makes her smile, then step back and watch her mind work. This creates a push-pull effect that ignites desire. It's not manipulation, it's aligning with the natural rhythm of attraction, letting her chase the emotional highs she craves. Most men flood her world with predictability. You want the opposite, unpredictability that excites without harming. Next, understand validation without oversaturation. Women attach when they feel seen on a deeper level. When a man recognizes parts of them, they hide from everyone else. You don't have to compliment her looks every day. Instead, notice subtle qualities, the way her eyes light up when she talks about something she loves, or the quiet confidence in her laughter. When you verbalize or acknowledge these, she begins to associate your presence with understanding, acceptance, and emotional safety. That combination is irresistible. And here's the secret men overlook. Silence is more powerful than words. A simple pause, a thoughtful glance, or even a subtle tease can create tension that draws her toward you. She will begin thinking about you when you're not around, replaying your interactions, wondering what you'll do next. That mental loop is the engine of attachment. When done correctly, she doesn't just like you, she begins craving your energy, your attention, and the subtle way you make her feel alive. Attachment is never rushed. It's cultivated like a slow-burning fire, and it thrives on emotional depth, unpredictability, and meaningful acknowledgement. The men who fail are the ones who try to force it, to overtext, over-explain, or overcommit. The men who succeed, they understand that absence, contrast, and emotional resonance are the secret levers of desire. Now, imagine her thinking of you at random moments, feeling a smile creep onto her face without warning. That isn't luck. That is precise emotional architecture. And once you understand how to create that, the game is no longer about chasing. It's about being the one she can't help but chase in her mind. Here's a truth most men never realize. Emotional attachment isn't something you ask for. It's something you trigger without her even knowing it. Women are wired to respond to certain patterns of interaction, patterns that create a sense of comfort, excitement, and even subtle dependence. Think about it like this. She doesn't just want attention. She wants experiences that make her feel alive, seen, and safe at the same time. And if you master these patterns, you're no longer just another guy in her life. You become a constant thought, a presence she unconsciously seeks. The first pattern is emotional contrast. Women attach to men who make them feel intense emotions, not always positive, but memorable. You don't want to create drama, but you do want to create peaks and valleys in her emotional experience. Be playful, teasing, and a little mysterious. Then switch to moments of warmth and genuine understanding. That tension, that unpredictability, is addictive. Her mind starts replaying your interactions, analyzing your behavior, and, most importantly, craving the emotional highs that only you deliver. The second is selective availability. Most men make themselves constantly available, thinking presence equals attraction. The truth: scarcity, when balanced with quality engagement, intensifies attachment. When you don't reply immediately, or you step back after an intense conversation, you create a psychological gap. Her brain fills that gap with thoughts of you. She begins to wonder what you're doing, who you're with, and most importantly, when she'll next feel that rush of connection. That subtle tension builds desire faster than constant attention ever could. Third, understand emotional mirroring. Women are instinctively drawn to men who reflect and amplify their inner emotional state. If she's excited, match it. If she's contemplative, mirror her depth. This doesn't mean mimicry. It means attuning to her energy and responding in a way that makes her feel understood at a level most men never reach. When done correctly, she starts associating her own best emotions with your presence, creating a psychological loop that links you to her emotional satisfaction. Finally, memory triggers cement attachment. Small, seemingly insignificant moments, a shared joke, a brief compliment, noticing something unique about her, become mental bookmarks. She recalls these moments when she's alone, building an unconscious emotional debt. She begins thinking of you without realizing why, and suddenly, your presence feels essential. Attachment isn't about grand gestures. It's about patterns, consistency, contrast, and deep emotional resonance. Women don't fall in love with convenience. They fall for the man who makes them feel seen, excited, and subtly dependent on the emotional experience he delivers. When you master this, she isn't just attracted. She's internally tethered to you, thinking of you even when you're miles away, wondering why she can't stop feeling the way you make her feel. Most men waste months, even years, trying to make a woman feel attached, and fail because they focus on the wrong behaviors. Attachment isn't about doing more, it's about doing strategically. It's about guiding her emotional experience so that she begins craving your presence without ever realizing she's being drawn in. The difference between a man who gets remembered and one who fades into memory is subtle, but it's powerful, and it's all behavioral. Start with controlled intensity. You want your interactions to feel alive, not monotonous. Send a text that makes her smile or laugh, then don't follow up immediately. When you meet in person, be attentive, but don't oversaturate. Listen to her stories, make her feel heard, then give her space to process and reflect. This creates a tension that fuels attachment. She begins replaying these moments in her mind, anticipating your next interaction. That mental loop is the foundation of emotional dependence. Next, activate her imagination. Women attach to men who make them visualize possibilities. Drop subtle hints of shared experiences or playful future plans without forcing commitment. A casual, "We should check out that place sometime," or "I'd love to see you try this," triggers curiosity and a sense of potential. Her mind starts filling in the blanks, imagining scenarios where you are central to her excitement, happiness, or intrigue. The attachment grows silently, internally, and relentlessly. Then, practice strategic empathy. This isn't just listening, it's reflecting her inner state back in a way that makes her feel understood better than anyone else. She should feel that with you. She doesn't have to explain everything because you already get her on a subtle level. Women attach to emotional mirrors. They bond with men who validate feelings without judgment. This creates security while keeping the emotional pull strong. Also, use positive reinforcement sparingly. When she reaches out, acknowledges you, or shares something personal, respond with appreciation or warmth. But don't overdo it. The key is to make your attention feel valuable, not expected. Every interaction should leave her with the sense that she wants more of the unique energy you provide. Finally, leave lasting sensory and emotional imprints. A confident glance, a carefully timed touch on the arm, a playful joke. These small cues trigger subconscious memory loops that tether her to you emotionally. Over time, these cues build a deep attachment without her ever consciously realizing it. She begins craving these moments, thinking of you when she's alone, and anticipating your presence in ways she cannot articulate. Master these behavioral strategies, and you don't just create attraction. You create an emotional dependency that feels organic, inevitable, and irresistible. She doesn't just want to be around you, she begins to need it. Communication is where most men fail, not because they don't talk enough, but because they talk without understanding the emotional weight their words carry. Women don't just respond to content, they respond to subtext, timing, and emotional resonance. Every word, every pause, every tone can either deepen attachment or dissolve it. The men who succeed understand that communication is less about exchanging information and more about creating emotional gravity. First, master the art of intrigue. Don't reveal everything about yourself at once. Share enough to be interesting, but leave space for curiosity. A text like, "I had the wildest experience today. Can't believe it happened," sparks questions. She will want to know more, to connect, to be part of your story. Intrigue activates her mind, making her think about you outside of direct interaction. She begins mentally filling in the gaps, creating a psychological pull toward you. Next, use emotional tagging. This means associating your presence, words, or stories with strong positive emotions. Make her laugh, feel understood, or experience a moment of excitement, then subtly step back. She starts linking those emotions directly to you. Over time, she craves the energy you provide because it feels like an emotional reward. Women don't just fall for who you are, they fall for how you make them feel in the story of her life. Also, practice timed vulnerability. Open up about yourself in ways that feel selective and intentional, not desperate. Sharing a personal story, a fear, or a dream creates a subconscious bond. She begins to see layers of you that others don't, and attachment deepens because she perceives exclusivity and trust. The key is balance. Reveal enough to connect, but leave room for mystery that keeps her intrigued. Then, mirror her language and energy subtly. If she's playful, tease back. If she's contemplative, match her depth. This doesn't mean copying her. It means resonating with her state, so she feels understood at an unconscious level. Emotional mirroring builds the sense that you're aligned with her inner world, a magnetic force she can't ignore. Finally, create mental loops through callbacks. Refer to past jokes, shared experiences, or things she said before. This makes her feel remembered, valued, and connected. The effect is subtle but powerful. She starts thinking about you between interactions, replaying memories, anticipating future ones, and craving the emotional highs only you provide. When mastered, communication becomes your tool to make her mind revolve around you naturally. She doesn't just want your attention. She begins subconsciously needing it, craving your presence, and associating you with emotional fulfillment that no one else delivers. That is the invisible, psychological engine of attachment. Now let's talk about the hidden levers that accelerate emotional attachment. The psychological hooks that make her think about you, crave your presence, and emotionally depend on your attention. These are not tricks or games. They are subtle truths about how her mind processes connection, desire, and security. Men who understand these hooks move beyond attraction. They create an invisible tether that draws her to them almost involuntarily. The first hook is emotional unpredictability. Women are wired to notice shifts in energy. If every interaction is predictable, attachment stagnates. But if your energy varies in controlled ways, warm, teasing, intense, playful, it sparks curiosity and excitement. She begins analyzing your behavior, thinking about you when you're not there, and trying to decode your patterns. That cognitive investment becomes a magnetic pull. The more she thinks about you, the more attached she becomes. The second hook is intermittent reward. This is simple but profoundly effective. When she reaches out, shares something personal, or engages emotionally, respond in ways that are meaningful, not expected. Sometimes she gets the full warmth, attention, and validation she craves. Sometimes you withhold slightly. Her mind begins to chase the highs she gets from you. This intermittent pattern mimics a psychological loop that is irresistible. It's the same principle that makes experiences and relationships unforgettable. Third, leverage status and confidence cues subtly. Women are drawn to men who carry themselves with certainty. This isn't arrogance. It's about emotional stability, decisiveness, and the quiet assurance that you operate at your own level. When combined with attentiveness to her emotional state, this confidence acts like glue. She begins associating you with safety, reliability, and excitement simultaneously, a rare combination that accelerates attachment. Fourth, use shared vulnerability as a bonding hook. Share a meaningful experience, a challenge, or a personal reflection that reveals depth and authenticity. When paired with playful teasing or light-hearted interactions, this vulnerability signals trust and emotional maturity. She starts valuing you not just for what you do, but for who you are underneath, creating an internal emotional debt that draws her closer. Finally, leave memory imprints intentionally. Little things, an inside joke, a phrase she laughs at, a look that sparks curiosity, stick in her subconscious. Over time, these imprints accumulate, forming a mental map of you that she can't stop revisiting. She starts thinking of you in random moments, longing for interactions and craving your presence without even realizing why. These hooks are not optional. If you want deep, fast, emotional attachment, they are essential. When applied thoughtfully, you no longer chase her. She begins chasing the emotional highs you create, looping herself around your presence and feeling a bond so strong that distance or time cannot easily break it. By now, you understand the emotional triggers, behavioral patterns, communication strategies, and psychological hooks that create attachment. But knowledge alone isn't enough. You need a framework to cement her feelings so deeply that she cannot imagine her life without you. This is where most men fail. They create sparks, but they never ignite a fire that lasts. The truth is, lasting attachment is built on consistency, emotional layering, and perceived uniqueness. Start with consistency in impact, not presence. You don't need to be everywhere all the time. You need to leave a mark every time you interact. Every conversation, every glance, every interaction should be meaningful, leaving her with a memory that makes her think about you afterward. She should feel your energy even when you're gone. The stronger and more positive that imprint, the faster attachment grows. Next, focus on emotional layering. Every interaction should blend several emotional triggers: a little humor, subtle mystery, warmth, validation, and intensity. This multi-dimensional approach overwhelms her subconscious in the best way. Her mind begins associating you with a complex, addictive emotional cocktail, creating attachment that feels natural and inevitable. She isn't just enjoying your company, she's craving it. Then, create irreplaceable experiences. People remember moments, not words. Share moments that are unique, stimulating, or intimate. Even small gestures, a carefully timed compliment, a spontaneous laugh, a shared interest explored in a new way, become anchor points in her memory. She begins to link those experiences directly to you, and the emotional connection deepens every time she recalls them. Finally, maintain subtle autonomy. Women attach fastest to men who balance emotional intimacy with independence. She needs to feel you have a full life, passions, and boundaries that are non-negotiable. This doesn't push her away. It makes your presence more valuable, making her emotionally invested not only in the moments you share, but in the man you are outside of them. When all of these elements combine, strategic emotional triggers, psychological hooks, layered interactions, and autonomy, she doesn't just like you. She begins thinking of you constantly, craving your presence, and attaching to your energy in a way that feels effortless and natural. You become the man she can't forget, the one who occupies her thoughts and emotions long after you've left. Now here's a question for you. If emotional connection equals trust plus excitement, and attraction equals mystery times intensity, what's the equation for unbreakable attachment in her mind? Drop your answer in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with the man who needs to hear this truth today.